Okay, so welcome to our August 25th edition of the Modernization Outreach Call here at Ginnie Mae. Next slide. There are some exciting topics up for, I'm sorry, I didn't remember that this was the next slide. So something that you need to know is that we are encouraging you to ask questions and participate in the Q&A, and there's several ways that you can do that. If you dialed into the audio for today's conversation on your computer, just at the bottom of your screen, if you hover your mouse, you should be able to use the reactions button to raise your hand. And that'll let us know that you have a question. If you dialed in from a phone for today's audio, you can press *9 to raise your hand. And then after we've called the last 4 digits of your phone number, you can press *6 to unmute yourself. If you are the quiet type and you prefer typing questions, please make sure you type those into the Q&A. That allows us to adequately record and respond to your questions, okay? All right, so here are the topics that are up for today's call. There's going to be a general program reminder. We're going to talk again about our RSA Secure ID soft tokens. And then we're going to introduce this thing regarding platform upgrades and a business blackout. And I really need you guys to stay awake and stay tuned, because I'm going to be asking you for some thoughts and feedback and questions on that. And then we'll end today's call with a few updates about our single family pool delivery module adoption effort. Okay. All right. So what we have for our general program reminders, digital collateral program. So if you joined us last quarter for our modernization outreach call, you know that we did inform you that the digital collateral program was open and accepting applications again. And that is still true. It's a rolling admission process available to issuers that want to submit digital collateral. We just need you, if you're ready to begin enrolling and submitting digital collateral, we need you to email the dcpa@hud.gov email address. If you're not currently ready or you're not currently enrolled, you just have some general information questions about the program, please reach out to the program director, Lynn Chandler, and she can answer those questions for you. But just wanted to remind you guys that that rolling admission process is open, and you are welcome to submit applications if you'd like to participate. Okay. All right, next slide. Okay, here's a big one. RSA Secure ID soft tokens. So you've seen this slide several times. You've gotten a few emails from us. If you are an existing token holder, here's where we are at. Okay. We have distributed training materials to token holders. That includes some quick reference cards on how to manage the validation of those tokens. We have also issued some new frequently asked questions, and we have updated the modernization page of the Ginnie Mae website. So all of the training information that we are providing is currently available on the mod page under RSA Secure ID soft token section. And validation activities are beginning now. So we did have plans to begin issuing those tokens a couple of days ago. We're not getting them out as efficiently as we had hoped because of a technical snafu, if you will, but I have received confirmation from the team that those tokens have been uploaded and the emails will be going out this afternoon. Okay. This is only for existing token holders. If you already have a token, you will be getting an email. Look for it, and we'll talk about exactly what to look for in a second, but you will be getting an email. Look for it, and then begin validating those tokens using the information that was sent via email last week and is posted to the modernization outreach page, okay? So be looking for that. You need to validate those tokens as part of the pre-cutover exercise no later than 10/14, okay? So let's go on to the next slide because there's some next steps there for you. Okay, so here's where you can find the reference materials, all right? On the Modernization Initiatives page of ginniemay.gov, we have posted several reference materials. The most important The pre-cutover FAQs. One of the most important pre-cutover FAQs is if you are not an existing token holder, this does not apply to you. Okay. We're not making any changes with how tokens are being managed. It's only if you are an existing token holder. Okay. But feel free to peruse those FAQs, even if you're not an existing token holder and just want to know more information about what's happening. If you are an existing token holder, we will be sending you an email, and we need you to pay attention and preview the quick reference cards that we've already posted to the website on how to install and authenticate those soft tokens. Please note that you will have a choice. You will be able to install and authenticate the token either on a desktop or on a mobile device, not both, either. So make your selection, get familiar with the instructions, okay? As well as those FAQs, and then you're going to look for the token email. Okay, tokens are being sent starting today to existing token holders via email from the Ginnie Mae desk at Deloitte.com email address. Okay, so stay tuned later today, tomorrow, to your email box. Make sure that you're checking your junk folder and look for messages, an email message from Ginnie Mae desk at Deloitte.com. Okay. Again, these tokens are being sent to existing token holders only, and they are coming via email. There's no hard token, no physical token that will be mailed to a physical address. Those days are ending. This is an emailed token, okay? Once you get that emailed token, you are going to validate that new soft token, okay? Or what we're calling install and authenticate, okay? Those are the validation activities. So we need you to install and authenticate those tokens no later than October 14th, okay? You're going to go to the email, you're going to get that token, you're going to follow the quick reference card, and you're going to install and you're going to authenticate that token. All right, let's say you're ahead of the game, you've got it going, you've done all of that. Now what? Wait for it. Hold on for the platform upgrades, okay? We definitely need you to get in there as quickly as possible and install and authenticate those tokens to make sure that everything's working. We get a signal on our end that lets us know that everything's in order, which is why we're encouraging you to do that efficiently. But you can't begin to use those soft tokens until the platform upgrade cutover date, okay? Those platform upgrades will be complete on 10/25. That is when you can begin to use that soft token. If you try to use the soft token prior to that point in time, it won't work. So please do not try to conduct business transactions using your soft token because you won't be successful. You will need to continue to use your existing token until the platform upgrades are complete, okay? Okay. If you have questions about, how to install and authenticate those tokens, if you're not able to find the resources, if you have, need additional clarification, if you think you're supposed to be getting an email and you haven't gotten an email, you can reach out to Ask Ginnie Mae at HUD.gov and we will get someone to assist. Now, keep in mind, as I said, those tokens are being set up to be emailed out today. If you do not have a token already, it's because we haven't sent them already. So hold tight, wait a day or two, and then we will make sure that we figure out exactly what's going on if you don't get one, okay? Next slide. I know you got questions. Let's see. Okie dokie.
Letitia, we have somebody has raised their hand, Julie.
Hey, Julie.
Yes.
Need you to unmute
Hi.
yourself. There you go.
Sorry.
Hi.
I was going to start typing. So you mentioned that an email went out last week, but I never received one. Are the directions on the email the same as what's on the modernization page?
Yes, they are.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and so Julie, if you don't happen to get a token when we send them out today and tomorrow, give us a call, or I'm sorry, send us an email next week and let us know that you didn't get that. But
Well,
make
I
sure
did,
you.
I
Mhm.
did receive an email for the token and then saying that it wasn't going to work, but I don't recall receiving anything about the, the directions and stuff from
Yeah.
last week.
Yeah, the instructions last week went out as a bulk message that I think some of your email systems may have screened out. So I'm less surprised that you didn't get the instructions. I would be more surprised if you didn't get your token.
Okay.
So as long as you got your token and you can get to the modernization page of the Ginnie Mae website, you have everything you need.
Perfect. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thanks for asking. Okay. Anybody else have a hand raised? Okay. Nicole, am I good to jump over to the Q&A?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm a security token holder and I have not received any of the information you're referring to regarding soft tokens. Okay. So same information I just said to Julie, today and tomorrow, you should be getting that soft token via email. If you do not, please reach out to us at askginniemay@hud.gov next week. But in terms of the quick reference cards and other resource materials I'm referring to, they are posted to the modernization page of the Ginnie Mae website under RSA Secure ID soft tokens. So everything you need to get started is posted there. Okay. Regarding the emails that went out, I never received them. Where can I find the information? Same answer. Yeah, you guys, it's the email security features that many of your organizations as financial institutions have put in play that will sometimes filter out, those messages when they're sent in bulk. So apologies for that, but I promise you, if you didn't get the emails, you're not missing anything. Everything you need to know is available on ginniemay.gov. Okay. Now, like I said, if for some reason you don't get that emailed token, that soft token from the Ginnie Mae desk at Deloitte.com email address today or tomorrow, then you need to contact me. Okay. Ask ginniemay@hud.gov. Are we phasing in users? Some individuals are existing token holders that have not received the emails. Oh, hey, Tammy. So Tammy, this is going out. It is, let me just say, we have approximately 2,200 people that these tokens are going out to. So we're not necessarily phasing it, but it is a large job. It may take a little while for all of those tokens to be sent. So Tammy, I wouldn't worry just yet if some people got them and others didn't. But if that answer is still true, that some folks haven't gotten them by COB tomorrow, definitely send me a message, okay? All right. Hey, Donna, what if you haven't received any of the emails? So Donna, I think I already forwarded to you the specific communications that I was referring to. And beyond that, those soft token emails are coming right now. So you probably haven't missed anything just yet. Okay. So stay tuned. Again, you guys, if you haven't heard anything from us by the end of the day tomorrow, Monday morning, you should be sending a message to askginniemay@hud.gov. Okay. If you already have a soft token, do you need to do anything? Yes, Denise, you sure do. So I'm glad you asked that question. It is in our FAQs, but it's a very important one. So there is a very, very, very small contingent that already has a soft token. Those soft tokens will not work when we move to the new platform. So when we do our platform upgrades, those existing soft tokens will not work. Okay, so you will need to follow the directions just as any of the hard token holders were. So that's why I'm saying any existing token holder that is both hard token and soft token, you will need to complete this exercise. Thank you for asking that question, Denise. I know you're part of a small but powerful group, and we do need you to go ahead and authenticate, install and authenticate that new soft token as well. Okay. If you have any challenges, please reach out to askginniemay@hud.gov and we'll get a subject matter expert on top of it to help you. Christopher, we have a user that recently received a hard token last month and is having issues validating. We need assistance. Okay, Christopher, so you should be able to contact askginniemay@hud.gov, and there is a team that is managing the hard tokens that can assist you with what you need to do to set up that hard token, okay? So a little bit different process, a little bit different team, but still you can contact the same email address, askginniemay@hud.gov, and they will help you take care of that. Shelly, are existing tokens to be returned once soft tokens are in use? Very good question, Shelly, and that is also in the FAQs. Hold for further instructions. So there's a couple things happening. We've not given specific instruction about what to do with those hard tokens for two reasons. We need you to hold on to them in the event of a failover, meaning if anything goes wrong and we need to continue business, we need you to make sure that you've got a hard token in your hand, okay? Or an existing token in your hand. That's number one. Now, that is a highly unlikely scenario. However, just in case, okay? The other thing is we are still working through the specific instructions for what needs to happen with those tokens, meaning we very well may need you to send them back, but we haven't confirmed the exact address and who's going to be responsible for those tokens. So please hold for further instructions. Bottom line is you need to hold on to those tokens all the way through the end of October. And by that point in time, I will have provided you new instructions on what to do with those tokens, okay? So don't lose them. Don't give them to the dog. You might be able to throw them in the junk drawer, but don't lose track of those things, please, okay? Hey, Ralph. So even if I like my token, there's still no keeping my token. No, I'm sorry. No. Nope, it's part of the platform upgrades. It's a whole new token provider. I know it's still RSA, but it's a whole new token issuance process. And there's absolutely no way those hard tokens are going to work in our new platform. So I'm sorry, Ralph. But the good news is you do have a choice as to whether or not you want that soft token to be delivered to your desktop or to a mobile device. So pick your favorite device, any device, probably an Android device. I think I probably just started a war. Okay, Scott. My team at Wells did not receive an email either. Yeah, just hang tight, Scott. If, like I said, the instructions are on the Ginnie Mae website, go ahead and go to the modernization page and peruse some things there. And then, wait through tomorrow. If you don't get those soft tokens, reach out to us. Every single person who has told me that they did not get those email instructions was on the distribution list. In no case, not one, has someone said, I did not get the instructions and they were not on the email distro. It is absolutely because your email systems are filtering out those messages because it was a bulk message send. The individual tokens are being sent as direct individual emails and will not be subject to that same concern, okay? Stephen, will there be an issue if an org admin doesn't complete this by 10/14? Issue. No, not exactly. I'm not going to come looking for you, but what I can tell you is that we can't promise that you'll be able to conduct any business transactions if you need to act as an authorized signer when we cut over, on 10/25. So the consequence of not authenticating and installing and authenticating the tokens in advance is that you won't be able to use them when we cut over. So if you don't need the token, you absolutely do not have to install and authenticate. But if you, for some reason, actually do need to use that token, you're going to want to make sure that you got that thing properly set up before we cut over, you might have an interruption if there's a problem with the installation. Okay. So it's a very, very good idea, but no, I guess you don't have to. I don't recommend it at all. Okay. Jessica, if we hired new folks and need to get them set up with the token, should we wait until October to request their soft token? Ooh, Jessica, I swear I couldn't have planted this question any better myself. Thank you for asking that. We are requesting that you do not submit applications for new tokens before the transition, okay? If you have to, if you are without options, meaning there's no one else with a token available to do business on behalf of your organization, fine. But please note that if you submit an application prior to cutover, meaning prior to October 25th, we must first issue you a hard token that you will then immediately have to, retire, and then also set up a soft token. I don't recommend it. If you don't need a token, urgently in order to do business, I would say hold off. I'm going to ask everyone, please hold off on any new token applications. We'll be able to manage the process as efficiently as we're doing today anyway. On the other side of the cutover, if you have an emergency situation, I understand. Please reach out to ask.ginniemay@hud.gov. But the process of requesting a token right now, just for the sake of requesting a token, is going to be cumbersome and quite a bit unnecessary if you are not using that token right now. Okay. So again, please do not submit new applications for tokens unless it is absolutely urgently necessary until after October 25th. Okay. If you have any additional questions about that or concerns, please let me know. And I am happy to speak to that. And Ralph, you are hilarious. Okay. Donna, you didn't receive your token email either, but the rest of the people in your company did. Okay. Reach out to ask Ginnie Mae at HUD.gov and we'll follow up on that. But I know because I personally checked, your email address is on there. The only difference I can say to you is that that old email domain is where all of the emails are going. The other users in your organization have been able to access those emails for some reason. So you might need to check in with your IT team. But go ahead and send a message to Ask Ginnie Mae at HUD.gov so that we can know that we need to work with you on that item. But that email is in your old email domain or your old email address, Donna. That's where everybody's were sent. Okay. So reach out. We'll work through it. I promise. Okay. Jeffrey, you mentioned that soft token can only be uploaded to either a mobile device or a desktop. Does that mean that you can only use that token on that device later on? Okay. I think I read that right. On that device later on. Yes. So the way that the software tokens work, you have to choose the device that you're going to install it on, and that is the device you retrieve it on. Okay. If you want to change that device later, you can, but it can only be on one device at a time. So pick your favorite. Pick whichever one is going to be easiest for you to keep with you and navigate when you have to conduct these business transactions. And that's where you're going to want to install it. If you install it on a mobile device and you lose that mobile device, we will make sure that we get it installed on a new mobile device some way, somehow. But you can only pick one. Okay. So pick your favorite and go with it. Okay. Okay, where is the modernization page? I'm on there now and don't see the instructions. Can I get someone on the team to go ahead and drop that link in the chat? Modernization page is on ginniemay.gov. It's under issuer training. And you're going to see modernization initiatives. And there's a section for RSA soft tokens on that page where everything is posted. So we'll get someone to drop that hyperlink in the chat for you though. Okay. All right. Leslie, a colleague applied for a token, which she just received in the mail. Will she also receive a soft token email this week? Yes, eventually. So Leslie, any of the new applications for tokens are part of a separate batch because they were not on the original list. So it's going to take us a little more time to get tokens to those new token holders, which is, exactly why we're asking folks to try and hold off on those new applications if you can. But yes, if you just requested a token in the last month or so, especially within the last week or so, you probably didn't make our initial list, and we have to manually go back and make sure that you are accounted for. So give it another week. And if you don't have it then, please reach out to askginniemay@hud.gov. I hope that helped. Sherry, can you tell us who sent the email? Yes. Ginnie Mae desk at Deloitte.com. Okay, Ginnie Mae desk at Deloitte.com. I think that was on the slide. Maybe we should go back to the slide real quick, Nicole. Okay, thanks, Donna. How will soft tokens be handled for sub-servicers? The same way they're handled today. With our no, you don't need to do any of that, Stephen. We have the associations to other organizations stored in My Ginnie Mae, and that's how we're associating your user IDs for the soft tokens. So assuming that everything was set up with your existing token properly, that's exactly how your soft token will be set up. There's nothing additional for you to do. So let me know if that didn't answer your question, but I hope we made that, pretty easy for you to manage. You just install that one token, and everything that you need will be right there on that individual token. Okay. Okay. Thanks, Ralph. Appreciate you. Okay, what happens if we change our desktop after installation? Yeah, if you change your desktop, then we'll have another set of instructions for how to uninstall or how to reinstall on a new device coming shortly. We're not actually navigating those changes right now. We need you to get the token and install and authenticate it. That is our primary mission and the most important thing that we need to navigate at the moment, especially because you can't use them until October 25th. But it is a good question, Maria. We will have additional instructions coming that are beyond this initial setup. They will be included in the My Ginnie Mae Getting Started user manual. For how to continue to manage those soft tokens going forward. So we haven't actually published those instructions, but we will after we make it through this initial transition. Okay. So if anything goes wrong in the meantime, definitely reach out to us and we'll help you navigate that. Okay. Until when the hard token will be activated once we move to the soft token? Until when? I think, Gabrielle, what you're asking me is, what do you do with the hard token? You continue to use it. So you keep using those hard tokens until we cut over on October 25th. And that's when you'll begin to use the new soft token that you have installed and authenticated. If I didn't quite get that right, you let me know. Okay, Gabrielle? Jessica, can we transfer ownership? Nope, absolutely not. Cannot, nope, doesn't work that way. Nope, sorry. Just doesn't work like that. Not a bad idea though. Morgan, I had to step away, but soft tokens, is that usable in GinnieNet or only Sfpdm? Morgan, these are the soft tokens that you use for business today. So however you use your token today is how you will use your token after the transition. So that would depend on your system access. GinnieNet, Sfpdm, master agreements, MFPDM, wherever you use wherever you use tokens today, that's where you're going to use tokens on the other side of the platform upgrades. Okay. This is the link. Looks like the link to me, Carmen. Thanks. Yep. Okay. All right. Thank you, Leslie. Yeah, Kenneth. Yeah, hopefully I answered that one for you. Yeah, if you install the token on a device and then change the device or carrier or anything like that, we'll have instructions on how to uninstall and then install on a new device. But those instructions aren't available yet. And mostly because, let me mention the reason why they're not available yet. As a part of being able to issue these soft tokens, we're having to make some major platform upgrades. And some of the screens that we need in order to provide you accurate instruction are not yet available to the team, which is why we haven't issued all of those instructions just yet. Okay, so we will get there. We will get there. Right now, I just need you to get the token and install it, authenticate it, and we'll work out the rest of that later. I promise. What if you received the email that you should receive a token and you never received a subsequent email, the token? So Rashida, it's the same as what I mentioned earlier. Those tokens are going out right now. So if you don't have that email from ginniemaedesk@deloitte.com by COB tomorrow, reach out and send us an email first thing on Monday. Ask ginniemay@hud.gov. Okay. But those emails are going out literally as I am running my mouth a lot. Okay, Lorraine, the FAQ says October 22nd is the live date for soft token, or is it the 25th? So Lorraine, I'm going to put a pause on that very good question because it ties into the next part of this presentation. And I'm going to be able to provide you better information if I answer it in just a couple of minutes. Okay, so hold tight.
Letitia, we have another hand raised from
Yes.
Kenneth.
Hey, Kenneth, you want to unmute and let me know what you got going on?
I didn't mean to raise my hand. I was just pointing out to my team that a change of phone in the future, if it's on a mobile device, could require a delay in business. So we have to be concerned about that.
Yeah, we, yes, you will. I can tell you that we are aware of the processing times for the issuance of new tokens. And soon as we get on the other side of the platform upgrades, we are going to immediately begin a process to automate the provisioning of those tokens to make it almost instantaneous. So hang in there, Ken, we're working on it. Okay, do I have any other hands up, Nicole?
Yeah, we have one from Tara Taylor.
Hello.
I'm good. No question. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Okay, anybody else?
No, we don't have anybody else right now.
Okay. Hey, Maria, Oracle Mobile Authenticator actually has nothing to do with the RSA Secure ID token. It is the application that you use for your one-time PIN to log into the My Ginnie Mae portal, but it's a totally different company and device for the RSA Secure ID soft token. So it is going to be a new application that you'll need to install on your mobile device if you choose to install it on your mobile device. Okay. We have two administrators who don't seem to know who to contact for help getting another one set up. Okay, so it sounds like you need some help getting set up in the My Ginnie Mae portal. Go ahead and send a request to askginniemay@hud.gov so that they can help get you set up in My Ginnie Mae. Okay. People who cannot locate their hard tokens. Okay. No, that's not necessary for you to locate your hard token in order to validate or install and authenticate the soft token, but somebody might come looking for that hard token soon. So they may want to look. I'll give you more instructions on exactly what to do with those hard tokens in another month or so. Okay, guys. Woo, that's a lot of questions. Okay, I'm going to hold on additional questions on this topic until the end because there's another very, 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 very important topic that I have to talk about right now. Platform upgrades. Okay, listen closely to the lack of detail that I provide you over the next few minutes. All right, you've heard me mention, guys, maybe the words data center migration. Some of you have seen a modernization bulletin that went out about business validation activities and testing that we're doing. And, a lot of words that are being thrown out that, are all about modernization of our securitization platform. Okay. What you need to know is that on our side of the house, this is heavy duty stuff, y'all. We are rolling out major upgrades to the securitization platform in October, okay? This will consolidate our data centers and it'll migrate everything to the cloud, which is a huge deal. If there's any technical folks on the line, you just know how heavy this is. These upgrades are going to generate, a better user experience. It's going to allow us to make more efficient updates. It's going to make for more efficient transaction processing, and it's going to allow us to deploy these soft tokens that you guys are looking for. Okay. But it does come with, some necessary downtime. So what's the impact as a result of these platform upgrades? The cloud migration and testing activities for the securitization platform are presently underway. As I mentioned, you may have already noticed that we had a modernization bulletin a couple months ago that identified that we needed to have a blackout during regular business hours. So this is periodic outages to the portal and, as a result of migration and testing activities that are absolutely necessary. Absolutely necessary. And we do also have what we're calling a business blackout period that will affect all Ginnie Mae business coming in October. Okay. And that is where we are making the cutover from our current state to the cloud. This is going to take several days. And this is going to mean some blackouts during what are normally scheduled business hours. Okay. So this is happening. The business blackout is going to begin on Wednesday, October 19th. Okay. Some transactions are going to be cut off as early as 2 o'clock Eastern time on that day. Other transactions will be cut off at 4 o'clock. Other transactions will be cut off at 7 o'clock. We will not cut off business any earlier than necessary, and we will provide you explicit detail about what is happening when in the middle of September, okay? We don't want to put anything out there that will not hold true in a few weeks. So we are being especially cautious with communicating specific times, okay? But I can promise you that on Wednesday, October 19th, we will be cutting off business, okay? We will resume normal business after the final validation exercises are complete on Tuesday, October 25th. So this gets at the question, when can I begin to use my soft token? Well, we knew we were cutting over the weekend of October 22nd, and now we've become keenly aware that that is actually several days of a blackout period, which means that your tokens will come online when business comes back up on October 25th, okay? So between when we cut off Wednesday on the 19th to when we come back up on Tuesday, the 25th, you will not be able to conduct any business transactions, okay? And we will give you more explicit details about what transactions need to be in the system by when to make sure that they are processed and what all of this means, okay? Right now, this is the information that I have to share, okay? We've created a section on the Modernization Initiatives page for platform upgrade information. And as soon as I am able to communicate a timeline, FAQs, and modernization bulletins that have a certainty of information available, they will be posted, okay? But there's still some additional details to be worked out about the logistics in terms of exactly what cuts off when for what types of transactions and whom. So I'm communicating broadly to expect a business blackout between Wednesday, October 19th and Tuesday, October 25th, okay? With details on how to prepare and manage to come in the next 2 to 3 weeks. There are no other details available at this time, okay? But I am going to open up for questions, comments, all right? Ready, go. I see a hand.
Yes, we have a hand from Mark. If you can unmute yourself.
There we go. Sorry about that. I guess that interacts with Class C a bit for October. Do you think that's going to be an issue?
It's going to impact all business.
Okay. So should we schedule pools earlier? Is that where we think we're going with that?
I can't provide you specific information on how to manage Class C right now.
Okay.
But what I can tell you is that the business teams and technical teams are actively working out exactly what that means for specific transaction types, okay? If you are able to set those up to ensure that everything is complete earlier, then you should do that. But in terms of the specific cutoff times, based on whether it's a platinum, a pit, a C-type, whatever, there's, because all business will be affected, we will give you those details in a modernization bulletin in the next 2 to 3 weeks. And that will also be posted to the Modernization Initiatives page. Folks, if you are not already subscribed for notifications to that page, I highly recommend you go to the Ginnie Mae website and do that, because the minute that modernization bulletin is posted, you will get an email notification that it is up. Okay, we will also send notifications through the My Ginnie Mae portal messages, as well as e-notification. But we are trying to make sure that we clearly and succinctly map out how it impacts specific transaction types and give you the exact deadline for each one of those. But I can tell you that some transactions will begin to be cut off as early as 2 o'clock that afternoon of the 19th, but not all transactions will be cut off that early, okay?
Okay.
Okay. Is there another hand up, Nicole?
No, we don't have any other hands up
Okay.
right now.
Okay, let's jump in here. Shelley, it will prevent multifamily pools from being processed. Yes, all business will be shut down for some period of time between October 19th and October 25th. Yes. Now, I will tell you exactly when things will be cut off in about 2 to 3 weeks. So yes, all business will be affected during that time frame. But exactly when we begin to take things down will affect different types of transactions differently on the day of October 19th. Okay, Robin. Yep, it sure will, Robin. This deck is in the, if it's not already on ginniemay.gov under the issuer training presentations, it's tools and resources. I'm sorry, under tools and resources, it will be shortly. Okay, so yes, this deck is in the process of being posted, as will the recording. Okay, so you'll be able to get back to this information later. Mabel, during the blackout, will there be any business done? It is a complete blackout, Mabel. Now, like I said, exactly when specific transaction types are cut off will vary, with, most business being cut off at COB, but some transactions being cut off as early as 2 o'clock on the 19th. But it is a 100% complete blackout. Okay. Nick, do you anticipate resuming all business Tuesday or throughout the day? So Nick, that's a good question. When business comes back up on Tuesday, the 25th, it will be completely up. I just can't commit to what time that's going to happen. Okay. Yeah. And I see an anonymous attendee asking a similar question. So business will come back online at some point on the 25th. We will bring business back up as early as possible, but I cannot commit that it will be up at the beginning of normal business hours. Okay. So yes, it will come back up all at once though. Okay. So while you do need to pay attention to the cutoff times for specific transactions, when everything comes back up, it'll come back up at the same time on the 25th. Will this impact non-production testing of the PDD? Great question, Courtney. Yes, it will, because you won't be able to access the validation and testing tool. So when we cut things off, we have to cut them off all the way across the board, even for the testing tool. That was a really good question. Julie, does this impact not just the issuers, but Ginnie Mae for release of bonds? It impacts everything. This is not just the issuers. This is disclosure. This is everything. Everything. This is a 100% complete business blackout. Everything. Those are actually really good questions, you guys. And I appreciate you allowing me to be as vague as I have been. You know, we wanted to make sure that we provided you as much notification and warning as possible, which does mean that I have to warn you with very little detail. So hopefully the information provided is enough to help you begin to think about it. And give me, like I said, about 3 weeks. By mid-September, I commit to having some details available to you via modernization bulletins posted to the Ginnie Mae website. Okay. Okay. All right, we got 11 minutes left. Next slide. Okay. Sfpdm adoption highlights. So I'm not going to go into great detail on this slide because you guys see it every single month. Especially if you're a single family or manufactured housing issuer. So nothing has changed in regard to where we're at on the timeline. We are in the middle of the rollout. So the application is available. If you are able to submit pools manually, please do so. Sfpdm is a fantastic tool and you should begin submitting manual pools immediately if you are able to do so and interested in doing so. There's literally no reason manual entry issuers should not be using the tool right now. If you have questions or concerns about how to use the tool, please reach out to us. There'll be some contact information on the next slide. So for those of you that are waiting on a vendor, we do want you to know that 7 of the 9 vendors that are currently testing in the VTT have passed their PDD validations. So you should be hearing from, some of you should be hearing from your vendors soon so that they can get you going and ready to begin those pool submissions in the new modernized application. Okay, so please continue to check in with your vendors regarding where they're at with that process, because some of them are making some really good progress, you guys. Now, there has been a little bit of confusion about the deadline for converting to Sfpdm, and I want to be abundantly clear about what I mean, okay? We want our issuers to begin submitting pools by the end of this year, okay? And the reason for that is if for some reason you put off this effort until next year and you have any development challenges, IT development challenges or problems testing and passing the business rules, you are going to be way behind the 8 ball to start that process next year. And when we say that we are cutting over from GinnieNet, it is a complete cutover of single family manufactured housing pooling. Meaning if for some reason you wait until next year, you are not able to successfully develop that pool delivery data set, when we cut over those pooling transactions, you will not be able to deliver in GinnieNet. And if you need to issue pools, you will have to do so manually. Okay, so we are tracking to make sure that our issuers have at least started testing in the validation and testing tool, if not already submitting pools in Sfpdm by the end of this year, or else you're going to hear from us. Okay, because we find it to be extremely risky for you to begin this process of transitioning next year. Okay. So GinnieNet cutover is mid-year, July-ish, mid-year next year. But if you haven't started working on this, by December, I'm calling you. Okay. Somebody's calling you. We're calling you. Okay. All right. So a couple things that, we have put together is some information about, if you haven't already started the transition, what's changing, what's not changing from GinnieNet to Sfpdm. This is not a new slide. This is posted to the modernization page, where we have a wealth of resources about transitioning to the new MISMO compliant PDD, testing in the validation and testing tool, as well as pooling in Sfpdm. So I'm not going to go into great detail about these points because we talk about them on a regular basis. Please join our monthly single family pool delivery module listening sessions if you have specific questions about these points, but they are available on the modernization page. Okay, next slide. And so what should you be doing if you're a single family or manufactured housing issuer? You should be reviewing the resources that are on the modernization page of ginniemay.gov. You should be developing those pool delivery data sets. If you are currently flat file, if you currently upload a flat file, if you're working with a vendor, you should be checking in with your vendor periodically to get a status update. To see when they're going to be ready. If you are developing your own, you should be, whether you're developing your own or working with a vendor, you should be testing in the validation and testing tool, okay? Do not test in the Sfpdm application. That is a live production application. First of all, your pools will not pass the rules, and you're gonna have to back everything out. Do not test in Sfpdm. Test in the validation and testing tool only, okay? So as you're working with your vendors and they're giving you test files, test using the validation and testing tool, okay? And once you've passed those business rules, begin pooling in Sfpdm right away. If you are a manual entry issuer, begin pooling in Sfpdm today. Okay, if you need some support to get you up and running, maybe you have questions about the PDD, we've got references listed here for PDD support, Ginnie Mae MISMO support at HUD.gov. If you need assistance actually using Sfpdm, please reach out to ginniemay1@bnymellon.com. Okay, questions? Okay. So someone who remains anonymous is saying that Encompass is behind and they won't be able to begin pooling by the end of this year. Yep. Yep. I would say that you are not one of those issuers that I consider high risk, because your vendor is actively working on developing that pool delivery data set. And as soon as they have completed that, which we believe is going to be early next year, you can begin testing. So I don't consider you to be one of our high risk, participants at this point. Continue to stay on top of Encompass and reach out to them for, real-time updates. Again, the cutover for GinnieNet pooling, it will be mid-year, which is closer to July. And you should be in a good position as long as you're staying in constant contact with your vendor, okay? Can you still export single family pools after the Sfpdm cutover? Not sure I'm understanding the question. Does this make sense to someone else on the technical team, or do I need to ask for a little more feedback from Lorraine here?
I think we need some more clarification. Is Lorraine asking about exporting the XML format from Sfpdm or exporting the flat file from Ginnie Mae?
Yeah, Lorraine, give us a little more context and we're happy to answer. I'm going to move on to another question real quick. What about the security remittance drafts that are scheduled around the 22nd? This is about the blackout period. Yeah, it's everything. Everything. So we'll provide, it's a complete business blackout. We will provide you additional detail about how each of these activities are impacted. We're taking notes, so I will make sure that I get back to you about that specific remittance, okay? Thank you for bringing it up. Yeah, Mark, yeah, same thing. I think we're hearing about the same message, just all I can say is stay on them. As soon as that PDD is ready, you're going to want to jump on top of it and start testing so that you can begin the transition. Stephanie. Okay, if we provided the vendor, are we reaching out and working with them? Stephanie, I can tell you that if you provided us the vendor that you're working with, we are making attempts to reach out to them. I can't promise you that they're being 100% responsive to us, depending on who the vendor is, which is why we are encouraging you as their customer to continue to bug them. Okay, so yes, the answer though is yes. Every single vendor that you have informed us of, we are reaching out to. Okay, some of them are a little more communicative than others, but keep in mind, please remember, you are their customer. So it is important that you continue to reach out to them and stay on top of them to prompt that movement. If they're telling you that they don't understand or need more information, please definitely refer them to the resources we provided. Nicole, can you go ahead and scroll back to that last slide so people can jot down that contact information if they need to for Ginnie Mae MISMO support team? Thank you. Okay, where and how do we get access to the VTT? Cutover, it's already in the My Ginnie Mae portal. So if you already have a pooling function assigned to you, then you automatically got access to it. If you aren't generally responsible for pooling transactions, but you do need access to the VTT, reach out to the organization administrator in your organization to have a role assigned, the validation and testing tool role assigned, and then you can access it through the My Ginnie Mae portal. Yeah, so Dylan, we are actually not able to post the specific names of the vendors that have successfully passed the VTT. There's a whole bunch of bureaucratic reasons why. So we're asking you to reach out to them and find out exactly where they're at in their development process. Is there an estimated timeline for the enhancement that will allow for RG and ET? Yes, Ken, we're tracking to early next year. Because of our major platform upgrades, we are not able to install those or implement those changes in Sfpdm until after the transition. And once we do, we have to completely test them. So we're looking at very early next year for RG and ET to go into Sfpdm. Okay, thanks, Lorraine. Appreciate the follow-up that your question was answered. Okay, I thank you from Stephanie. We've used the testing tool and we're able to submit a pool. When we tried to submit in the live test, okay, you had some errors. Olivia, please reach out to the Sfpdm support team. If you were able to submit that pool successfully in the VTT, it should have passed in Sfpdm, but definitely reach out to the Sfpdm support team so they can make sure those errors get fixed and your pool is properly submitted. There's plenty of folks hanging out waiting for you to call them. Does the testing tool not check all the errors? Yes, no, it does. It does. So definitely, yeah, reach out to the Sfpdm team and they'll help you figure out. There's an errors report that you can check, but they can help you navigate those errors if you're having a little bit of trouble. There's plenty of folks waiting to help. Security reports will be down from the 19th to 25th. Everything will be down from the 19th to the 25th. That's at some point. Yes, everything. Yep. So we're writing that one down, security reports. If there's any additional specific guidance we need to provide to you, Maria, we'll make sure that we do that in a modernization bulletin. Ginnie Mae settlement is on the 20th and a 48-hour on the 18th of October. Does Ginnie Mae have a new schedule for October? No, no new dates to publicize as of yet. So the dates remain the same. We will continue to process whatever we can process after the business blackout has begun. But we're going to clearly communicate to you when you must submit or transact whatever you need to submit and when you need to submit it by in order for that processing to occur. So I can't provide you any specific information right now other than we will tell you exactly when you need to have it done and if those dates are sooner than normal. Okay. Wow, lots of great questions. Here we go, Adam. Okay, with extended term pools not being able to be done in Sfpdm, is it okay for us to submit through both platforms? Absolutely. Absolutely, Adam. That is a really great question. Thank you for asking. Absolutely. We would encourage you to submit all pools possible through Sfpdm. But if you do have pools that have, reperforming RG or extended term ET loans, you are going to have to submit those through GinnieNet until we make those updates in Sfpdm early next year. But there's absolutely no reason why you cannot transact through both systems at this time. That was a really great question, Adam. Thank you. Okay, what else? It's 3:04 and I'm tired of hearing myself talk. So thank you, you guys. We're going to get this posted. Ask Ginnie Mae at HUD.gov for any questions about today's presentation. Really appreciate you guys being here. Have a good one.